Some guy asked me why I called Israel racial apartheid, because after all, Arabs live in Israel too. Like that matters. They're still ethnically cleansing Palestine. They build racial colonies. That's why I call it a racial apartheid. Because in their own mind, Jews are a race. Now, I don't think that. It's just their religious dogma of a certain sect of Judaism, Zionism, that believe Jews are a race of people. And under their own law, they build settlements, little cities full of Jews and only Jews. No one else can live in a settlement. No one else can be an Israeli settler other than an Israeli Jew. Okay? They're building them not in Israel, which would be racist enough just to have segregated towns, but in Palestine, in the West Bank, which is not part of Israel according to any law other than religious dogma. The green line is the border of Israel. That's according to their own damn conventions, their Geneva Conventions, like that, the Oslo Accords, Camp David Accords. That's the border of Israel. That's why it's called the West Bank and Israel, not just all of it's Israel and West Bank's like a county inside of it. The West Bank is Palestine. Okay? There's 6 million Palestinian refugees. A lot of these people live in tents. They were forced out of where they used to live by force, by an army. Okay? Israel's settlements are racial colonies. A lot of the times they're built on top of where other people used to live. Those houses were bulldozed down, and then the little colony is protected by a standing army. Some of them have a wall wrapping around them. Israel's built the apartheid wall. Jimmy Carter called it apartheid. The wall isn't on the border of Israel, which would be stupid enough to build a wall on your border, but it's actually inside the West Bank, wrapping around the illegal settlements. The settlements are illegal according to everyone. Israel's breaking over 50 UN resolutions. Okay? You can't possibly justify building a racial colony and protecting it by a standing army. You can't. That's not defense. It's occupation. It's offense. When you go into another country and take land away and build a city for your kind of people only and protect it with an army, that's apartheid. And yes, it's racism when you say it's for the Jews only or whatever race only. That is apartheid. And it doesn't matter if Arabs live in Israel or some of them are in the parliament. You know, Custer had a few American Indians in his army as scouts. Didn't change the genocide. There's absolutely no justification for an Israeli settlement. Look at Hebron, deep inside the West Bank. What are those people doing? How can anybody justify a little city full of a certain race that's protected by an army that's built inside someone else's country who doesn't want them there because of all the violence and things they cause? You can't do it. The U.S. couldn't go into Mexico, destroy the homes of Mexicans, and build English-speaking white cities where only white Americans were allowed to live. The whole world community wouldn't accept that. Regardless of how powerful America's armies are, it couldn't do it. But Israel can do it. Israel can do it. Another thing is neocons. Neocons are not synonymous with Zionist. A lot of neocons are Zionist, but not all Zionists are neocons. Howard Dean's not a neocon, but he's a Zionist. Zionism is very fitting for the neocons. The neocons are globalists. They're the old might makes right Straussian philosophy. But a neocon has a much greater plan than just Greater Israel. However, Zionism is perfect for the neocons, these blood-sucking military-industrial complex profiteers, because Israel is a cash cow for the MIC. 60% of Israel's economy is security. It's a total security state. It's a police state. They were the indirect way to mess with the Middle East when the Russians were blocking the U.S. from just straight-up invasion. As soon as Russia was out of the way, America got in there. Iraq was number one on the agenda. Israel is America's ally. And when I mean America, I mean the multinational corporations that run our country. It is a giant, massive military machine. The Pentagon loves Zionism. It is their stated goal to have perpetual conflict, because perpetual conflict means perpetual profit. And that's what Israel does. You can't possibly not have conflict when you occupy your neighbors with the military and build racial colonies. Can't happen.